Hofstadter's law, if you've never heard it, states, things always take longer than you expect, even when you take into account Hofstadter's law. More commonly known as the planning fallacy, Hofstadter's law describes the tendency to optimistically underestimate the amount of time it will take to complete a task, as well as the costs and risks associated with that task, even if it contradicts our experiences. Everyone on the planet is susceptible to this law. Even the king of cognitive bias himself, Daniel Kahneman, spent 7 years on a book project that he anticipated would take less than 2. Kahneman argues that estimation mistakes can usually be attributed to 2 key factors. 1. Failing to consider how long it's taken us to complete similar tasks in the past. 2. Assuming that we won't run into any complications that will cause delays. So how do you stop underestimating your time? Number 1. Estimate during the low point of your day. In study by Scott Golder and Michael Macy that analyzed people's moods using data from millions of Twitter messages. What they found is that people's messages tend to be less positive when they hit their low point in the day. Most people hit their trough midday, right after lunch. And when you're in your low point, you're less likely to feel positive. Your good mood is at its lowest point in the day. In that case, you may be feeling less optimistic, which could help you create more realistic estimates. Number 2, learn from experience or from others. Simply, find some similar task you or people you know completed in the past, and use that as a reference point in estimating the new task. This sounds simple, but they've proven that it's a powerful means to avoiding the planning fallacy. Number 3. Have someone else estimate for you. In study by the American Psychological Association, confirmed that people are prone to planning fallacy as described by Kahneman and Tversky, but they also discovered something unique. While we're bad at estimating how long tasks will take us to complete, we're actually pretty good at estimating how long it will take someone else to complete a task. So instead of trying to estimate tasks yourself, ask a friend or coworker to come up with an estimate for you. Number 4. Use three-point estimations. The three-point estimation technique forces you to confront your possible optimism by asking you to identify 3 different pieces of data. 1. A best-case scenario estimate. 2. A worst-case scenario estimate. 3. A most likely scenario estimate. Knowing that we tend to be optimistic when estimating, the best-case scenario estimate is likely the same as your initial estimate. The most likely scenario might be based on the historical data you have for completing similar tasks. And the worst-case scenario should consider how much time something might take if everything goes wrong. Once you have your 3 numbers, calculate the average of the 3 points of data. Use these 4 methods will help you create more realistic estimates. In the end, you may not be able to control your optimistic inclinations. But if you understand them and take steps to avoid the trappings of your innate optimism, you can avoid the negative consequences of the planning fallacy, and start managing your time much better.